problems, I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.
And what's going on, people? Welcome to a very special live stream. We are going in on some of the latest news from Halo Infinite, and I'm broadcasting live from a tropical storm right now. Before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody out on Twitter that was wishing me the best and all that good stuff, because it really seemed like a hurricane was on its way to my doorstep. 2 days ago, like the eye of the storm was projected to go right over the town I live in, and it was going to get really crazy. But I gotta say, thank God the path drifted off to the east, and thank God for everybody in this area, because it seems that as the storm got closer to land, that it really kind of it's weakening, okay, and it's not looking as crazy or whatnot. But you know what has been looking crazy? Twitter the last couple days. I might have been quiet. I might have been watching like the storm and seeing what was going on, but I gotta say, I've also had my eye on Twitter, and people have lost their friggin' minds, and it's all over Halo Infinite. I am joined by my brother from another mother. Of course, he is coming live from the 405, and I couldn't do this live stream talking about this game without him being here. Yo, K-Mega, what is going on, bro? Oh shoot! Hold on a second. For some rhyme or reason, it's not picking you up. Hold on. I'm in properties right now. Let's get this straightened out here. Quadcast. Oh. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, there he is. Yes, K Mega, and after my blunder, he's here. Yo, Mega, people can hear you now, man. People can hear you.
Oh man. Oh.
That's how we do, bro. That's how we do.
Good to be here, man. Like I was saying before, was that normally I'll be listening to the Iron Lords, but I can catch it up. I can catch it later. That's the beautiful thing about YouTube. But I couldn't resist to not talk about Halo yet again. After talking about it yesterday, when we had like the special GRG, and then we first talking about it all damn night, Friday night. Just in the Xbox party. So yeah, no, but the one thing that I haven't got a chance to do yet was talking with my other brother, man. Say Xbox 448, and get his thoughts about what's going on with Halo, and hopefully maybe Pred and maybe some other people can hop in later on. But if not, let's look at it as a wombo combo, man. We can get this going.
Yeah, no doubt. And shout out to Predator, guys. People in the chat, what I need you to do is I need you to go to Predator H2OS on Twitter. If you're following him on Twitter, you need to tweet to him and tell him that he needs to put the lawnmower down right now, jump in the house and get in on this, because it is a hot topic, and I could not wait till Thursday. I know we're going to cover it Thursday as well, because we're going to need to hear what Dark and Crispy have to say. Crispy's probably working, slicing up some bacon and pork roast or whatever, being meat department or whatnot. But we're gonna have to get their thoughts on this. But I couldn't sit back, man. I haven't been too vocal. I haven't really talked about this with anybody else. Like I've been working my 12-hour shifts, and I've been watching Twitter. I put out a couple things on Twitter, and man, like the reaction. And we're gonna get into like the reaction by people who don't even want to play Xbox is absolutely insane right now. But two things will not be in Halo Infinite when it releases later this year. And yes, people, it is releasing this year. I'm gonna start with the latter on this one. I am gonna start with Forge. Now, for people who don't know, Forge is a mode where you can create your own multiplayer maps. You can create your own game types. That's where certain game types like the sumo game type, was created in Halo. It was created through the Forge map system. Now, 343 is promising to have the most tools they have ever had in their Forge system. And I'm talking about, they did this on Halo 5, but they're going to do it to an even bigger extent where you can literally put controls into items. Like, you can have pelicans fly through the sky. You can have, like, warthogs driving through the scene or whatnot. They're really going in on what you can do and what you can create in terms of creating your own maps. And pretty much, it's a big creators kind of, like, mode. Now, that's not going to be in Halo Infinite at launch. And for people who don't know, that wasn't in Halo 5 at launch either. It was put in at a later date. It took quite a while. If I had to guesstimate, I would say almost a year before they put Forge into Halo 5 Guardians. So, with that being said, it's not like this is the first time this has ever happened. But again, the people out there in social media, it's absolutely insane. K-Mega, what do you think? We're going to go Forge mode, and then we'll talk about the other thing after that. First off, I got to ask you if you've used Forge mode, if you are what they call a quote-unquote forger, and what do you think about them not releasing it on the release of the game, but it's going to come out about 6 months after that, basically half a year?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've had to deal with that in Halo 5, where Forge wasn't there. And yeah, I've used Forge. I've never like made a map or anything. I've just gone and just taken maps from Forge. There's really cool maps. I remember one of the maps when Halo 5 first dropped. That was when Forge first dropped in Halo 5. There was this Mario map, and it looked incredible. And then there was one of our favorite maps was this map in a kid's room, and that was really fun.
Dude, I remember that.
A lot of multiplayer. That was a crazy map. There was tons of them, and then of course there was the races and all these different type of challenges. So the Forge mode has always been amazing, and so but it's not always been day one with Halo. So for them to do it a little bit later, and the fact that Forge is going to be more robust than it's ever been, then that's just letting you know that, hey, take the time on that, put it, leave it in the oven as long until you get it right, and then just bring it out on release. I mean, because if it's not ready at that point in time, then it's not like this was something that is new that came with the game. So at launch, so that Forge is always a little bit different, and of course the fact that you have people that's already worked on Forge, has already worked on Forge maps, and I've even heard that Forge is coming along a lot quicker than a lot of people anticipate, because I mean I've seen people that's kind of pushed this narrative that it's going to be like sometime next year, or it won't be out it's going to be beyond the 6 months. But I was hearing from some people that I rely on that it's actually well ahead of schedule, and they just want to make sure that it comes out and absolutely 100% right, and that it's ahead of schedule. So I was listening to that to people I trust last night. So but you can take that with a grain of salt, because there's always different types of people saying one thing and trying to pull you to this direction, and and then you hear another side of it. But I'm going to go with the side with the people that I trust, that hasn't failed me anytime that they've talked about any game. So
how about the people who actually want to play the game? How about that? Like, they got,
yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of people commenting on this whole thing, and these are people that have no interest in this game whatsoever. and they're talking about how this is such a bad deal and stuff. But to bring it back to Forge, again, this is not unprecedented. It's something that has happened before. Yo, shout out to RG Viper X hitting up that super chat, people. That is right. It is not next podcast, but the super chat is working right now. Yo, thank you for the support, man. He says, not many people play Forge. The only downside is online co-op, which we will get into. I want to play with friends through the story, but if everything else is finished, then release the game now. 11/15/2021, 20th anniversary. Shout out to you, Viper. I like where you're going with that, and we will get into the co-op. But when it comes to Forge, first off, it's an added feature for a very particular part of the Halo community. It is welcome to all. It is welcome to all. Anybody can go in and jump in. I will let you know that I used to see the kids in this house. They used to go in and they would just spawn all the cool guns in a regular map, and they would just mess around with that like all day. All right, they didn't go in and they didn't create and stuff. One thing I will say about Forge is, I'm this is gonna sound bad, K Mega. I'm kind of happy that it's not ready at release, and the reason why is,
yeah, you gotta give me an explanation for that. Why?
Dude, Halo 5 Guardians. If you go into it now, go into it now, and you go to play multiplayer. Dude, how many times do they put you on a Forge map instead of the 343 designed maps for that game?
That's a great point. That is a great point. I was just thinking something similar to that when you said that, but because what I was going to say after you said what you just said was, you know what, let people get familiar with the regular Halo maps first, and then I think it's just better to bring Forge a little bit later. It doesn't have to be day and date. But you're right, Halo 5, they did once Forge did pop on there, they had you going a lot of maps that I thought were part of the maps, but then you found out that they were Forge maps. So so no, that is a good thought about that. I'm not mad at you about that.
And I'm not against playing on Forge maps. I feel like there should be a dedicated playlist that you go into that, okay, these are Forge maps, and they can highlight the best ones and all that good stuff. But when it was soaking itself into social, and I think it even got into arena as well, kind of like the ranked PvP section of Halo, and that's where I was like, you know what, guys, calm down with the Forge stuff. I like having those official maps with all the little details, stuff made for it, where the Forge maps are great, and trust me, a lot of people make some incredibly creative stuff, but my eye can see what it is, and can see like the assets that are being kind of like duplicated throughout the map and stuff, and for me personally, I'm not a big fan of getting spoon-fed Forge maps in every single playlist that is in PvP. That's my thing, K Mega. I don't know how you feel about that. So with having that delay, it's going to delay the people from going in and building all this craziness that and then all of a sudden shouting out to 343 to get the recognition and stuff. So I'm it's not a big deal to me about the Forge, man. Do you think it's a big deal on your side about this?
No. Like, because I mean, it's again, I agree with you that, listen, let the maps that comes with Halo get recognition first. Let people get used to those maps, and then bring in the Forge maps here a little bit later. I didn't have a problem with that at all. Matter of fact, I didn't even think that Forge was going to be day and date, just because of that reason. And if it did, I was just going to be like, that's really cool. They got everything, ready to go. But just from us playing those three maps that were available for, or was it two maps? It was three maps, I believe, for the beta test or whatever that we played. that right there, you had to do a lot of, we played I played so much of it. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what's the place that I need to go, how, the place where we got to, be strategic and all of that. And then I was playing the one map that's like looked a little town or whatever. And I just so happened to do something, was just trying to get away from a bot. And I went inside of a little corridor, and then next thing you know, it took me into this little place way out, and I had no idea. And I mean, I've been playing that for that whole weekend, and then I just so happened to see it, and it took me there, and then it drops you right back down at the bottom of the stage, and I'm like, what in the world? And I'm, but that's the beauty of it right there, is that there's going to be so many like hidden corridors and spots that people can learn to for defense or for attacking or whatever, and let those maps, because we don't know officially how many maps is going to be available, but we do know that there's going to be big team battle. There's going to be the regular maps, 4v4 and stuff like that. So let those maps get their opportunity for people to play them, and then let Forge come in a little bit later. I thought that was the strategy all along, but I guess some people was expecting everything to come out at the same time.
Of course, I think there was some people expecting everything to come out at the same time. But then again, there are opportunists out there that just wait for anything that could be spun as absolutely negative. So this way they can go out on Twitter tirades and just go nuts talking about how this is the worst thing ever to happen in gaming. Halo is dead. It has been absolutely insane out there. Again, this was the lesser of the two, in my opinion. When it comes to Forge, when it does go in there, I'm feeling it's going to be great. If you listen to Joseph Staten, he stated that like the third season, and this is something I didn't see a lot of people talk about. Seasons are only 3 months long in Halo Infinite. So second season, the co-op will come out. So that's after 3 months. And then the third season will be the Forge. So that's 6 months. I feel like that's not a lot of time to, like, unless you are a forger. If you are somebody that goes in and just really goes in crazy on the Forge mode to create maps and stuff like that, I feel for you. I really do. I know you're upset, and I know you're disappointed about it. And there's really nothing I can say. I feel like that's not the majority of people out there, though. Yo, shout out to my brother Lucifer hitting up that super chat. I giggle a little bit every time I'm like, shout out to my brother Lucifer. But he says roses are red, violets are blue. K-Mega videos rule. I think nice. I messed up the tempo on that.
I need to drop some more videos, but yeah, I'll take it.
Yo, shout out to yo 448 was the super chat. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Always being creative, man. Love it. Absolutely love
it. Yeah.
So again, Forge, not really a big deal. I think the more contested part is what we are going to go into next, and that would be campaign co-op. Now, when you first hear campaign co-op is not going to be in a game on release and you're planning on it, the first thing is you are absolutely disappointed. I feel you on that. I am disappointed as well. I have to be honest with people, though. I have to be honest. When it comes to games I am really into, like Halo, I play the story by myself first. And by myself, I'm probably going to stream it. So this way, I'll have people in the chat. But I play it by myself first. But that's not to say that co-op is not important. And I know there are a lot of people out there. I know I got a lot of friends on my friends list that wanna go co-op with me through Halo Infinite and play the story out as well. K-Mega. Online co-op is not going to be available for 3 months after release. This is the hotly contested. This is where, these gaming extremists out there are saying like this is absolutely despicable. Like there's no need for this. They need to delay the game. That's what I see a lot on Twitter. Dude, what do you think about not having co-op, because I know, you and the Don, you guys love to stream together as well. When it comes down to it, what do you think about not having co-op day one for Halo Infinite, man? How do you feel?
Well, okay, we talked about this, of course, on GRG yesterday, because GRG on Friday I had technical issues, so we talked about it, and then Don was in there, and
well, K-Mega, you are getting older, so if you take little vacations, you come back and you don't know where the setup is. I can see that, bro.
That is true. That is very true. But this is what, if people haven't heard my stance yet, I am completely I completely agree with you. I mean, that's how I play Halo. I like to play the story solo. And it's just for the fact, because listen, I've played co-op, and I think co-op is first of all, let me say this. It is unfortunate, and to me it's bad management, in the sense of you prioritizing split screen co-op over online co-op. Somewhere, somehow, I understand that Bonnie Ross made that promise to those people that wanted split screen co-op. But then again, we have to see who plays what more, and if anything needed to be kept away, because it seems I think that was the problem right there. Then split screen co-op should have been the thing that should have been coming here, should have been delayed, and of course there would have been people that would have said that this was an outrage, this was this and that. But again, it wasn't in Halo. I don't think it was in Halo 4, I know it was in Halo 5, the co-op split screen. But
no, the local couch co-op, either. The split screen was not in Halo 5.
It wasn't Halo 5, but was it in Halo 4?
I believe it was.
Okay, all right. I don't remember, because I didn't play couch at that time. I was playing online. So, and to me, the main priority should have been to make sure to get the co-op first. And like I said, it is one of those things that is unfortunate. It is an inconvenience. It is not a fail, but it's a definite inconvenience. But I like to play the game solo myself first, because I want to get deep into the story.
Yeah, when it comes to co-op, yeah. you got you and your friend in there playing together, right? And of course, when you're playing, of course there's call-outs and stuff, but conversation tends to sway back and forth. You miss certain things that are being said or that are being done in the background, stuff like that. That's why I like playing solo first, to get every bit of what is being said, what's going on in the story, because and it's not that I'm antisocial. I just want to make sure I get all that stuff, exactly, and then I'll play with my friends.
Right, and that's how I've always played it as well. Like, I mean, I don't think I've ever played a Halo story with anybody the first time that Halo dropped. Never. And I've always played Halo 5, even with Halo 5, and how the AI was awful. Yeah, I still played it by myself, and because I wanted to get into the story. And you know what? When you look at the percentages of Halo 5 and the co-op there, it's only at like 7-8%. And we're talking about a game that has sold millions.
You're bringing out numbers. You're bringing out numbers.
Well, I mean, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. I was trying to look and try to see about with Halo 4, and I haven't seen those numbers yet, because I had to go all the way back to when I was when I played Halo 4. But I'm sure that those numbers, if not is the same, it might be even less. So to me, it's kind of like, listen, the co-op is a lot more. I heard the ding. So that is someone. Test.
Oh yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Predator.
He chopped up a few tarantulas in his backyard. Now he's good to go.
He's good to go. But yeah, no, I look at it from this standpoint, is that, listen, it's an inconvenience. It's something that should have been prioritized first instead of split screen co-op. But it's a feature. and it's not the end of the world, and it shouldn't be to the point to where people should be going out and calling it a fail or an incomplete game, because all you have to do is just go back and just look at the history of all different types of games. I caused the uproar with a lot of PlayStation stands because I brought up The Last of Us 2 because it didn't have its multiplayer.
Dude, you brought that up too?
Yeah, oh yeah, I brought
so
it up.
Did I.
There was somebody that just went crazy and was like, well, this is an absolute failure. And I said, well, did you have that same energy when Naughty Dog didn't release the multiplayer for The Last of Us 2?
Dude, we still got a bet on that. Like, I bet that they're going to charge for factions, and you said it was going to be an add-on to the game. Remember? There's a game on the line here as well.
Yeah, I know that I know we've had a bet on it. We need to definitely go back and check the receipts on how we.
Oh,
how
I
we
remember what it is. Trust me, man.
Yeah. But again, factions, and people don't still know anything about factions. And it wasn't a try to take a swipe at Naughty Dog. It was just a fact of just letting people be aware. Listen, they brought up the situation about the pandemic and how that's affected their work. Halo is going through the same type of situation.
They showed how they were in a team meeting while people were playing the game. They had cameras set up onto the screens. They're like, "Oh, yo, go to Xbox One. I want to see what's going on there." Like, there's like remote conferencing going on, and as they're like checking the development and stuff like that of the game, they showed it.
Yeah. Right, and so, like, listen, Don is upset about it, and rightfully so. Look, I'm not trying to tell anybody that they should be upset about not having the mode at launch. I totally get it, and you have every right to be upset about it because it's been something that's been a part of Halo. But to me, I look at it as a first world problem, not a major problem. What would have been the problem if Halo released and they separated it like The Last of Us 2 separated their game? That's the only reason why I brought up The Last of Us and Naughty Dog, is because I'm like, listen, they're a really big, huge studio. They have a really popular game, and they've had problems because they're trying to be too ambitious with their games, and because of the whole pandemic and all of this, it's caused all different types of problems. That's the point that I was making.
K-Mega, I have a better example for you, man. I also put this out there as well. Where was all the backlash, from the PlayStation fans, the hardcore, the extremists? Where was all the backlash when the Nathan Drake collection came out and there was none of the multiplayer that was in those games?
There were people that were upset about it, but then of course that nonsense went away. I mean, just look at tons of other games that's come out, like let's say the Tomb Raiders, right? The first two Tomb Raiders of the reboot came out with multiplayer. The last one did not. I mean, where was the outrage there? No, people were like, well, it was a good thing that they took the multiplayer out because it sucked and nobody didn't. Man, I get it, right? Like,
then make the multiplayer better. Then don't just take
right.
It out.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's just one of these things to me. It's like where people are trying to take something and run with it because they're trying to now say that 6 years of development for a game is way too long to not have anything available full at launch, when now you look at something like The Last Guardian that was 10 years of development supposedly, and they gave you the product that they gave you. And then you look at a game like The Last of Us 2 that had a longer development, and they still didn't have everything that was in the first game. You know what I'm saying? So that's, to me, is kind of like, listen, okay, let's look at Street Fighter 5. I mean, there's tons of games. Like, how incomplete was Street Fighter 5, right? And so that, to me, is where people are they're not keeping the same energy. It's all right to be upset about it, but it isn't the end of the world. It's not like it's going to be 6 months. I mean, it's not going to be like a year from now where they're not going to bring co-op. They said that they're going to bring it. Okay, fine. If people want to wait to play the game, that's fine too. But do not try to make this out to like this is the worst thing ever. It is bad management. They should have made the decision to bring online co-op instead of split screen co-op first if they were going to have these type of issues. But there's nothing that could change that now. And so either you're going to be in support of playing the game day one, which I will be, or you're not. That's just where you need to be. And
No,
that's
K
something
Mega, they
about-
should delay it. They should delay it. Like,
absolutely disgusting. If they delay that causes more problems.
well,
and I'll
no,
tell you
then
why.
people have more shit to talk about on Twitter. They can be like, oh, look, even that
Exactly.
was delayed again. Like, oh my
But
goodness.
it shifts all the other games too, because you think that they're still going to be bringing out the games that they're supposed to be slated to come out in that first quarter when Halo comes out in January, February. That or March, that would shift every other game to be pushed further back because of Halo, because it's that big of a game. It's not like they're going to be dropping Stalker 2 and Halo at the same time, and if they do, then they're going to cannibalize each other. There's a reason for this. They can't change that. Like, just that would be ridiculous.
Brother, shout out to the actual Halo fans out there, and for you guys that really want to get your hands on the game, and within the community there are people who feel like they should delay it as well. Like, I can't jump to that side of this argument, man. The full game, the full campaign is there, the full multiplayer is there. All right, it's the creators mode isn't going to be there for half a year. If you want to go in with your friends on campaign, it's 3 months after the launch. To me, that's not a big deal. It's disappointing. All right, for me, it was definitely disappointing to see that. And one of the things I felt is like, man, because the flight, the tech test, so much positive came from that. There were so many people talking so many good things about that. And it just seems like every time they do something good, something happens, and they have to keep climbing up a hill. You figure they got to the top of this hill, and then what did they find at the top of the hill? Another freaking hill to climb. Like they just, it's crazy to me, man. But we do have our brother Predator here now. Pred, we did talk about Forge first. It's up to you if you decide you want to share your opinions on not having Forge at launch, or if you want to jump into the meat and potatoes, the most controversial part of it, and go straight into co-op, man. What do you want to talk about, bro?
I don't even give two shits about Forge, but that's just me.
That's his opinion of Forge. There we go.
I mean, I've never used it. I've never, and here's the kicker. I've never played co-op multiplayer, co-op on the campaign on Halo ever, like ever. Like, I mean, like I might have done it maybe on 4, maybe, but it's like I know I didn't do it at all on 5. I even pulled my stats to see. I haven't gotten anything on co-op a campaign, so like it doesn't bother me. And typically, I play through Halo. I play through the story by myself because I don't want to be playing with someone who can't ever get online, or they're fucking eating potato chips in my ear, or like they're talking during the cutscenes. I want to experience it by myself, alone, and just play it that way. Now, if someone needs some help and we want to do some harder shit later, I might be inclined to do that. But I typically go straight to the story and then straight to the multiplayer, and I don't fucking touch the story ever again after I beat it. Ever. So like it doesn't bother me that they don't have co-op, campaign co-op, or even couch co-op. I mean, no one's in my fucking house playing games with me. This isn't the fucking 90s. So I know some people.
90s.
I know some people, like, they have kids they want to play with them and stuff like that. That's fine. I mean, like, I got multiple Xboxes in the house. My daughter wants to play Halo with me. She's gonna be in her room. I'll be in the man cave, and we'll play that way. But not everybody's able to do that. And so I can feel the pain for some of the people who love that mode, or who play in that mode with their kids or other friends or something like that. It's 3 months, and there's plenty of games that y'all discussed, like Last of Us. They don't have their shit. Ghost of Tsushima came out, and I don't know if it was planned. They had to have it planned, but it didn't have a multiplayer segment when it first launched. It added it later, and so they didn't discuss it. That's the only difference. We found out about it later on, but like it didn't come with the launch. And so these games are going to consistently update. I mean, people need to get used to that. They're not all these games that are coming out lately, because there's so much involved in them. They're going to miss something. They're going to miss some kind of feature like that you probably want, or they've got plans to add something to it later. So maybe they just want to get the game out. I'm not upset about it. I mean, it doesn't bother me because it's not a game mode that I typically play anyway. So I don't really give a shit. But I know there's people out there who do play that game mode. They want to play in the hardest difficulty with their friends and play it that way. And if you're one of those kind, like a completionist or something like that, who has to get all the achievements, and one of those achievements is play co-op, finish it on such and such or whatever, that's gonna suck. But
That's gonna hurt if that appears in the achievement list and you can't do it for 3 months.
can't
That's
do
gonna
it.
hurt,
Yeah.
man.
But I mean, yeah, and so I know in the past they've added I use Assassin's Creed. Like I can 100% that, and then once they do DLC, they add more achievements with that. So maybe they'll do that with this too. So I can almost promise they'll probably do it the right way. Add those achievements when they put the co-op component in there. So it doesn't matter to me. I can't see why people are all up in arms over it, because the same motherfuckers that are crying right now that are bitching about it are going to play the game when it comes out. They're going to play the next flight. I guarantee you. If they don't want to play the game, you can delay it your own on yourself. Like you can just not buy it until it comes out the way you want it.
Right. And that's right there is the biggest thing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Brandon. Go ahead.
I'm not saying like they have that option. Like if you feel like the game's not complete, then don't buy it when it comes out. Just wait till they get what you want in there. Wait 6 months for Forge. Do you feel like waiting that long? We'll all be playing it. You know what I'm saying? So,
You're damn right. Yeah.
I bet you everybody in there talking shit about it. Oh, let me back up. I've heard some hardcore Halo fans talk some shit, but they're gonna play the game.
Yes.
Right? I've also heard a bunch of hardcore ponies talk shit, and they're never gonna play the game.
Never gonna touch it.
Yeah, so I don't understand why everyone's up in arms about something. They're still gonna play. You're still gonna play it. The people who want to play are gonna play it. The people who aren't gonna play it, we're never gonna play it in the first place. They're just trying to start. And I had a couple of clowns come at me yesterday. And we did some back and forth before I did blocking their asses. But because I said what I just said, like you're gonna play it anyway. Oh, so you're okay with the game being complete? I said all the games we played in the last fucking 5 years are being incomplete. Like what the fuck is the point? Every game we've gotten has been fucked up from the start. Yep. And so they're just trying to start some kind of moving another goalpost. They know Halo's going to be a fucking hit. Only ding it's going to take is on the meta who now because of it. It'll be one of those things they throw out there. Well, it should have came with this, and they'll knock it down a couple points, But I mean, outside of that, this game's going to sell bananas any fucking way. So everybody out there crying, shut up. You're going to buy the game. You're going to play it anyway. So just be fucking quiet.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I mean, look, I wanted to just make this point as well, though, too, is that, I mean, I agree with everything what Prady said. Like, it's the pile on, and like I've said this about Xbox gamers, they tend to, when they listen to some of these stands out, these PlayStation stands, and that's nothing wrong with listening to everything. Because I don't listen to as many PlayStation podcasts as I used to, because it's just the same thing. It's just like, I mean, hell, it's like I'm listening to an Xbox podcast.
Hold on, there are PlayStation podcasts?
That's what I'm saying. Like they talk nothing about Xbox, so for the most part,
that's what I'm saying.
But
why do we get so many PlayStation fans on our podcast? I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know, but this is my biggest issue with it overall, is that where people tend to forget, this is one of the most ambitious moves that Halo has ever made in its history. It's not like it has been, where it's been, there's a beginning and there's an ending. This is going to be on a whole different scale, like what Destiny did. And all you have to go back to is remember how Destiny launched and what kind of backlash that got. Just remember, because I was the one that was so hype about Destiny before I think anybody else was. I was like, oh my God, me and my son,
how times have changed, bro.
How times have changed, right? Like me and my son was so hype. We was drunk, played that demo, and then that game did not live up to his expectations, because you know why? It didn't come out with all the features that they were advertising the game to come out with, if you remember. And people, and so now look at Destiny 2 and what has happened because of something that was really ambitious, that was new, that was coming to console gaming. And I've thought many of times Destiny was going to fall off because of the Division or Anthem or whatever. And Destiny is still standing strong, while Halo is making the same type of strides. And all that's missing is a few features. Are you kidding me? Like, they already are ahead of the game right now by taking something, by giving this game has a new engine. This game has a new it's got a whole new atmosphere. It's got battle pass. It's going to be free to play. It's going to be put on PC. They got different types of things that they've done to this game. Plus, they had to fight a pandemic and the fact that there was definitely probably some kind of infighting, and then there was some issues within the studio where there was some people that was there, and then they left, and then they brought in other people. And you mean to tell me that the only thing that's missing is those two features, and you're still complaining about that? I you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know the history of Halo 2 and how bad that was. There was a lot of people
that was development hell right there. Yeah,
that was true development hell. So again, people are doing all this capping. They don't know the gaming history properly. They're not looking at the whole thing from a wide lens. They're just only looking at it from just this little tunnel, and that's the fanboy tunnel, and they just want to cause a narrative and move the goalposts because PlayStation fans right now are tapping about an old game when that released last year, and
an old game
new.
that they have to buy again.
They
have to put money into it again, like basically.
So again, Xbox gamers, relax. It is an inconvenience. It is a problem. It is a problem. I get that. After a year's delay, I totally get it. And there should be some backlash, but there shouldn't be any type of backlash to the point to where people should say, "Oh, this game should be delayed because get out of here with that garbage." Yes, come on, man. Let's just get to going. Know we're going to be playing it, and just hopefully at Gamescom they're going to give a release date, and then we'll get a beta test, and then all of this shit will go away.
I'm gonna tell you what though, they can't fuck up no more with Halo.
No. That's what I'm saying. If they did a delay, that is it. Like you can't keep. That's just like if somebody in an abusive relationship keeps telling you, "I'm sorry, I won't do it again."
There, man.
Yeah. Cyberpunk, yeah, you can't.
And Cyberpunk was fucked up at launch, and they still sold almost 14 million copies.
Yes, and they're going to sell, and they're going to sell once that game is picked back up. Listen, the beauty of this altogether is that, and remember when we had this discussion about Master Chief Collection, how that launched. And it was awful. And you were saying, look, they're not going to do anything with that game. That game is done. I said, no, that was too ambitious of a feat for them to even make. They're not going to turn their back on something like that because it's also it's Xbox's biggest game. They're not going to do it to that. And what did they do? They fixed it. That's the thing about today's gaming. And it's unfortunate because, yeah, we're going to still get the same things like with Outriders and all the rest of these games that's going to come with, that's going to be coming up incomplete or going to have issues. But the beauty of this era is that all of this shit can get fixed and reworked. And that's different from when the days when I was gaming on cartridge or we go to the store and we look at a game off the game box. It looked dope. We grab it, and it was broken as hell, and we had nothing. We couldn't do any. We couldn't even take those games back because they were so expensive, and the store wasn't going to give us a refund. You see what I'm saying? So there's a difference in that. So I just think, look, man, just relax. If you want to wait, just wait. If you want the game to be delayed, then you delay it by not getting the game until everything that you want is available. Dude,
that's the one thing I don't understand from Halo gamers, from Xbox gamers. They're like, well, delay the game until it's a 3-month wait until the co-op. All right. Now, granted, to some people that might seem like an eternity. To me, time seems to be flying by the older I get. So to me, that's not really a long time to me at all. One thing I want to say, and this is something that I have said since probably Quantum Break, right? When Quantum Break came out, like I literally had Xbox people checking in with me, like, is the game good? Because I heard the resolution is only like 900p, and I'm like, well, what does the resolution have to do with the game? Here's the thing. Stop listening to the extremists out there. I know it might be fun to argue with them and stuff like that, but when they're coming out and they're saying, well, Halo, 343 is releasing 65% of a game, and they're not. The campaign is complete. The multiplayer is all set up. Like they're in what they call shutdown mode right now, which means that they are just fixing up bugs and stuff like that is what they're doing. All right? It is not 65% of a game. If you have a complete campaign, if you have a complete multiplayer, that is a complete game that's missing a couple features. All right? Now, granted, it might be a feature that you love, might be a feature that you think about before you get the game. Well, then, you have the option to pick it up when those features are there. But to say that the game needs to be delayed is feeding in to the Sony extremist logic. And what they're trying to do here, they're trying to get as many Xbox people to say delay the game, so this way, like what happened when the whole Craig meme started, people were in an uproar over how it looked, and they delayed it. All right? The Sony extremists out there, because they don't really have anything this holiday that's dropping that can compare to Halo, they want Halo off of the board. They're in this whole competitive thing, plastic to plastic, all right? And they're looking at this like, damn, Halo was actually getting some positive reviews, some positive kind of like momentum and hype when it came to the flight. People were talking about how much they liked it. The old school Halo guys were like, yo, this feels a lot better. They're back into it, and there was a lot of hype going on with Halo. So they are going to go out there on social media and try to get the Xbox fan base to also be absolutely up in arms over everything that's going on. So maybe they delay it again. And then this way, these PlayStation extremists, they don't have to deal with Halo coming out and being a success when there's really nothing on the table for PlayStation this holiday season. That is what's going on. And you have quasi kind of like Xbox people. You have people that are definitely hardcore PlayStation, but they like to talk about how they have a PC, or they like to talk about how they were in the Xbox Live beta test. But you can tell by what they say on podcasts and stuff that they completely lean to one side, no matter what. And those are the same people that are out there right now also saying what a disgrace this is. It is a disappointment. Absolute disappointment. But it is in no way a reason to delay the game. Guys, don't listen to that narrative. It is absolute BS. That is what they are trying to get you to do here. Predator, anything else you want to say on this, man?
Nope, I'm good. I said my piece. Ain't gonna change. My stance ain't changing. Still buying the game. Still gonna play it on launch day. So I mean, like everybody else will be. So I mean, I don't understand that fake rage. And you're right though. You did say something that was like about the Sony side. Like they want this game delayed just so they can have something else to talk about. Something to say. Oh yeah, y'all can't even get this out right. Y'all can't even get this game right. I'd be worried about Halo. I can see the narrative shifting, just going through my brain right now of all the stuff those guys are gonna say if they end up delaying Halo. So. Yeah, that ain't happening. Just because you ain't got a fucking holiday launch lineup. It's cool.
Yeah, for real. Right, Halo is coming out. Halo will have a full multiplayer experience. It will have a full campaign for Halo Infinite. Unfortunately, you cannot bring a friend into it within the first 3 months and go through the campaign together. But other than that, it is a complete game. Let's see. Hold on. Jay says it was delayed already a year and it's still missing features. You can't damage control that. Brother, well, first off, it was delayed. They weren't planning on delaying it at all until they got this crazy amount of feedback. All right? So, in that case, that might be a good thing. Whatever. I was hoping to play the game at the launch of this generation. But another thing that people are saying is about how many years development this game was in. They developed a gaming engine within that time as well as a game. How are you talking about how many years when they created an engine to create the game on as well? Do you know how dumb that sounds? To be like, oh, it's been like 6 years in development. Yes, they created the engine to create the game as well. Guys, come on. Let's Get some common sense here. Like,
I mean, just think about how long that Detroit Become Human was in development. They showed you know, the like a promo of it on the PlayStation 3. It didn't come out until what, 2017? That's
how long was Last Guardian in development?
oh damn! We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
10 years. The Last of Us 2. That's the reason why I was saying, because that's the best comparison. That took 8 years of development, and it still didn't come out with multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that to me, it's just kind of like, it is what it is. It's not. It doesn't. For a lot of people who love that game, and obviously it didn't diminish anything because the game still won Game of the Year, did it not? So if Halo gets docked massively from like Metacritic, because if the story is great, the multiplayer is great, the game feels great already, and it's more tuned, and they dock it significantly to where it's like it's less than Halo 5, because Halo 5 was an 84. You know what I'm saying? Then there's something really going on within the industry that needs to be checked, because if that's how we're going to play it now, then you know, but this is the reason why I don't care about it. I know that those guys will care about it because it goes with their pay and all that. But delaying it only just makes things worse. At the end of the day, it won't. There will still be people complaining about something else, because they'll say, "Well, Forge is still not here. They should have delayed that," or this is something else. People will always find a reason to complain about something. Xbox just has to bring the game out. Period. It is what it is. It will be fine. There's no need to worry about it.
Yeah, definitely. And yo, shout out to RG Viper X, bro. I was definitely gonna say that super chat, let people know what you said, and then I went off on a little bit of a rant here, just because I get tired of seeing people follow the narrative instead of being happy with the games that you know you're gonna be happy with. Like, there are so many people out there that know they'll be able to play a full Halo Infinite campaign when it comes out, and they're gonna be really happy. You're gonna be disappointed that you can't bring your friends in right off the bat, yes, but you have a complete online multiplayer as well when it comes to PvP, and to see people follow narratives that are created by other people who could care less about the system that you have near your TV. You couldn't care less about the system where you play games on, because it doesn't start with a P. Right. It doesn't start with a P. So they will do anything to try to promote any type of negative news. And I see people out there kind of like, you know what? They have a point, man. I was happy. I mean, I was disappointed there was no online co-op like right off the bat, but I was still happy to play. But you know what? That's right. We got to take a stand, and that's exactly what they want. They want you to double think that, and they want you to come out and be like, no, delay the game. So this way they can be like, well, Xbox didn't have anything over the holidays either. Oh, what did they have? They had a racing game. Pretty much one of the best looking racing games, if not the best looking racing game I probably have ever seen in my life. But they'll be like, yeah, it's just a racing game. Like, they're bringing out Halo. But shout out to RG Viper X, hitting up that super chat. He says Xbox is not going to charge extra for Forge and online co-op, unlike another company that charges for haptic feedback, blowing mechanics, and lip sync. Oh my goodness, bro.
Facts. Now, I will say this too, is that a lot of things I've been hearing too, is that, you know, Bonnie Ross should be fired, and of course, you know, Phil has got to get his name thrown into it some way, shape, or form. Listen, if it wasn't for Bonnie Ross saved Halo from moving on. She is the sole reason, and Phil Spencer are the sole reasons why Halo didn't get sold to Gearbox. That is a fact. Now, if she has too much on her plate because of the Halo film, which is a lot of people haven't brought up, because that's another entity that's brought into this as well. They want to make sure that the show, the Halo series, is going to be quality. And so if she has so much on her plate, then maybe she needs to share the wealth with other people, so they could be better managed underneath her. because obviously it seems like there's a lot of management issues within 343, but Bonnie Ross has done fantastic things in her own right. Now again, Halo 5, it was a mess. The people that was in charge back then, they wanted to change the narrative with everything. They that's why a lot of people was confused because they thought Locke was coming to chase and try to hunt down Chief, or they was going to fight and then hunt the truth and all that stuff.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But you know what I'm saying. But hashtag save Locke. The story wasn't anything like that, and it caused a shitstorm because of the narrative of what the people before Phil and Bonnie and them, saying had to deal with. Bonnie was still, she was in charge, but there was the higher up was still over her, telling her what to do. So again, but if you go and you listen to if you hear the history, the people before him, with Donnie D and all the rest of them, they were done with Halo after Halo 3 and was going to sell it to Gearbox, the people who make Borderlands.
No.
Yeah, so just think about that. I mean, it might have been dope. I mean, who knows? But Bonnie Ross went to Phil, and then when everything started changing, she was like, look, we got to figure out how to do this. And then Phil was like, all right, well, then we're going to go all out. Just like they've been going all out with Xbox right now. So, again, I don't like the slander that she's getting. Do she need some of the blame? That's fine. I'm not going to tell anybody what to say and not say, but the slander saying that she need to be fired and stuff like that, no. If there's things that need to be restructured within 343, I will definitely 100% agree with you, because there's some things that needs to happen. And my last point, because I do have to go, I don't want any other issues to happen with this whole co-op situation because of the person who's in charge of it. Because the one thing that makes me nervous, without anything, I think everything else is going to be fine. But the one thing that makes me nervous, the last time I seen this man, what was it, the dude that's in charge now of Halo, Stratton, I think that's his name. Stratton. The last time I seen him, he talked about the multiplayer co-op, party co-op with Crackdown 3. And we all know how that happened. Now,
damn.
Now listen, that's the only thing that makes me nervous about that, because it could get delayed a little bit longer than what they say. I hope not. But the game should not be delayed. You know what I'm saying? Whatsoever. Saying people just have to grin and bear it or just wait. Don, he said he's waiting. He's not gonna be playing the game at launch. He's highly pissed about it. And he has every right to be, because he loves the co-op aspect of it. That's how he wants to play Halo story mode. But, just like I told Don, I'm like, look, I'm going to be playing it day one. I'm going to be far ahead of you, bro. I'll just tell you where to go and where to hide.
Yeah. Yo, you hide over there. I got this, man. There are 3 brutes and 2 elites right there. I got this, yeah. I got this, man.
But this situation is ridiculous, man. Just come on, man.
Yo,
it's gonna work itself out.
K-Mega, real quick. I know you got to go, but one thing, because you brought up Phil Spencer's name, and there's something I want to say. I don't think I've ever said this live on air before. And console wars get absolutely ridiculous, but I want to let people know why so many PlayStation guys talk about Phil Spencer. And I'm going to lay out the truth, even if they don't want to admit it. It's because they're scared of Phil Spencer. All right.
Yeah.
When you see what he has done in terms of convincing Satya Nadella that, gaming is the way to go, to the point where, they got their Game Pass service out there, and nobody can really, if they talk shit about Game Pass, one of the first things they say is, well, I know it's a great deal, but that right there tells you that the mentality and the mind share of Game Pass is positive. All right, because they have to say, yes, it's a great deal. We have to put that out there, but here's my nitpicking about the situation is what they do. So he got Game Pass established. You look at how many studios that have been acquired. Of course, a couple of them have been cut to the curb when it came down to it. But if you look at 23 studios all together making first-party content for Xbox, when you look at them spreading over to PC and making PC gamers happy that these games are going day and day into PC, Phil Spencer is very accommodating to the gamers out there, as long as Game Pass is allowed to be on their platform. And these PlayStation guys are scared of Phil in terms of he is just completely surrounding PlayStation with Xbox news. All right, you see a lot of positivity about Xbox. You see, with the hardware, with the Series X. You see it about Game Pass. You see it about all the games that they have announced from their first announcement of Series X with Hellblade 2 all the way through to this past E3 and all the games that they showed there. They are scared of Phil because he is bringing exactly what he promised, and they do not want him doing that on the Xbox platform. So
Nope.
they will go ahead and talk major shit about Phil Spencer and try to get his ass fired. But in all actuality, that should not happen. Nobody should be out there calling for this dude's resignation right now when you look and see exactly what has been set up with the Xbox platform and how many games that we're getting to play for like a low monthly subscription and stuff like that. He has done absolutely incredible as the head of Xbox, and I don't see why any Xbox fan would be like, nope, you know what? Phil's got to go. Don't listen to that narrative, and don't put that out there either. Am I wrong, guys?
Oh no, hell no. You're absolutely right. No, that's ridiculous.
All right, well,
That's right.
K-Mega, I know, unless you have anything else to say, you said you got some plans, right, brother? You got stuff you got to do here?
Yeah. I was celebrating my early birthday, and so my wife came to the door and she gave me that eye, and I was like, all right. So she's like, there's people here. So I'm like, all right. So I gotta get with it. You know what I'm saying? Cut my Rams birthday cake, and you know what I'm saying, celebrate this early birthday, because my birthday is actually on Wednesday, but I'll be doing some other things on Wednesday. So but yeah, thank you, really Blue Shell. Yes, the internet on Friday. I don't know, my internet on Friday is acting full for some reason.
Well, that's okay, because K-Mega's birthday is officially Wednesday. He's celebrating it today, and I believe from Wednesday on, he gets senior citizen discounts at certain things, so maybe he can grab new internet.
Yes, maybe. Anyway, so come and check me out on my channel, KMega405, on Twitter at KMega4, on Twitch, because I do stream at KMega405, and yeah, man, check out the GRG podcast and all of that, man. Just having a great time, man. So thank you guys so much, man. But I got to get out of here. It was much love, man. Much love. Thank you.
Nice, brother. Thank you for joining, man. Have fun.
Yes.
I'll see you Thursday.
All right, man. I'll be there Thursday. Oh yeah. I do this thing on Thursday called the Next Podcast. Yeah, I'll be there.
This thing, you might have heard of it, you might not, but yeah, he's there too. But yo, Predator, anything else you want to say on this subject before we kind of wind down, and then I got to go make dinner, and I don't think it's going to be hot dogs, so.
No, man, we're good. Hopefully we'll have to talk about this again on Thursday.
Well, we're going to have to get Crispy and Dark's opinion on this, but we're also going to be talking about freaking Bethesda trying to sell another Skyrim, yo. Oh my goodness, man.
Trying. They will sell it.
No, they will. But can you? Oh, dude, we got.
Yeah, we'll talk about that Thursday.
Yeah, we got stuff to talk about, man. Yo, huge shout out. Yo, Friendly Neighborhood Blue Shell. If you guys didn't notice, he did hit up that super chat. He said it's 4K Mega's internet on Fridays. I guess that is an issue. Don't worry. I will try to teach him the ways of the next podcast in terms of internet streaming. Okay, maybe that'll help. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. Again, I wanted to go live and talk about this real quick, just because it has been absolutely crazy out there on social media. You know, on my breaks from work, I flip over to Twitter, try to get entertained, man, and all I saw the last couple days was absolute bullshit when it comes to this subject, man. And hopefully we straightened it out for you guys a little bit, and hopefully for people who don't necessarily think it's, you know, that big of a deal, it is a disappointment, but you're going to go ahead and you're going to enjoy the game like day one. hopefully you're happy to know that there are people out there. There are people on YouTube that actually feel the exact same way that you do. I don't know. We will see you guys Thursday for the next podcast. I have a feeling it is going to get very, very interesting. Yeah. Have a good day, everybody. Again, streaming live from a tropical storm. We are out.
Later, guys.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.